Hi, this is Joseph, Digital Transformation Specialist from Ghafari Associate. I help to implement, integrate new digital solutions. I'm terribly sorry today that I couldn't have the in-person presentation at this time. However, I'll do my best to share my experiences on some of these AI-powered image generation tools. Now, before we begin our journey with these AI tools, I'd like to look at our traditional way of design and see how AI can help our ways to design built environment. These AI tools are not magic wand to do our jobs, but it allows us to experiment at pacing scale that wasn't possible before. Over the last of couple of years, AI has been the heated topic in all industries. Midjourney was released 2022, then Stable Diffusion came out a month later, and ChatGPT came out later in the same year. Ever since, so many AI-based services were released to compete, like Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, even Meta, Llama, and now it's really hard to track all these power tools. When we use these tools, it is about new possibilities that might not have been thinkable. With new power tools, we would have more time to design and research. When we look at this conceptual design process, first step would be brainstorming ideas. And depending on the project, this is where we find our inspirations for different concept or research ideas. Typically, traditional method would be ranging from hand sketching ideas, Googling keyword, finding images on Pinterest, and this process basically works similar fashion and towards AI enhanced approach. As with the keyword prompting in this LLM-based large language model-based research, this can be text to image, image to image, or animated image making via various medium. As you can see that this is not much different. It's just the AI-based power tools, they are here to enhance our workflow and facilitate this process so that we can spend more time in designing and doing our research. When we go on brainstorming with these AI powered tools, they're using large language model, and so that we can use prompt engineering through the prompt crafting, we can get effective the generated images. Now, when we look at prompt crafting, prompt engineering, we can, just like Google keyword search, we can use grouped keywords using comma we can group these keywords, and how you're grouping these keywords may affect it will have impact on the output of these generated images. For the example here I have on the slide, basically whenever creating the prompt, we can have subject and environment, material concept, lighting and mood, composition, style. All these ingredients can make better, effective generated images. And this example, I have architectural conceptual rendering sketch as type of image, and I have urban setting, blue sky, couple of people as an environment element, and I have structural curtain wall glass cube cabin, precast concrete, wood panel, cobblestone driveway as a material concept and subject matter, and sunny, warm lights, blue sky as adding a mood, lighting. And I added here eye level as to help for the composition. And cinematic, minimalist interior, I added here as adding for the style. All these can help to create a better output on the image generation. First engine we started exploration was the DALL-E, and this is the prompt we used for this image. Since this was the first engine we tried to elaborate our prompt and try to give as much as possible towards the details. So as you can see, there are a lot of detailed descriptions in this prompt. We wanted to have a rendering of a 4-story office building with extra facade to be a vertical curtain wall with the brown tinted glass and a large canopy over main entry doors, at the vehicle drop-off area, and we added the parking structure, and we also added solar panels on the top of parking structure, and added palm trees as a vegetation for the surrounding, and the airport in the desert background, and popular with the people and vehicles, and the airplane in sky just about takeoff, and the early morning glow on front of the buildings, and this has to be a bird eye view, and with the resolution and the also aspect ratio. Now, if you compare our prompt to the output we have here, I think that this was pretty impressive. The output with the some of these elements mostly got picked up. However, to get to this image, it took a lot of trial and errors, and even the scale. The text to prompt the method sometimes is without having an actual geometry reference. I think that the DALL-E had a hard time picking up this size of the building, so that we had challenge towards the sizing this building, and especially you get better result with the single subject, one building. But if you try to have try to control the building in more than one element, then it will have hard time to understand and the output the intended images. However, it just works like ChatGPT. The interface is same. You just typed in your prompt, what you like to have, and then it'll typically, as you can see down below the low left corner, typically it'll generate 2 images at a time, and then based on these images, you can keep making iterations, picking which image you like to work with, enhance with, and then you can further develop, making refinement towards these generated images from DALL-E. And as you can see, though, that the DALL-E images, they do have a certain type of the style, a consistent style that you can witness. But we can go over that a little bit later. But this was one of the first result we were experiencing, and these are some of the exploration with those same prompt, just tweaking a little bit here and there that we could get. But as you can see here, that the scale of the project was really challenging to control, and when we deal with more than one building, that's when it's really hard to control. Next engine we tested was Midjourney, and Midjourney was, as you can see from these slides, that the style was different, and then also the variation and the creativity on how we can generate these images were very different than the experience we had with DALL-E. Possibly this is backed by the bigger support from the community, and the data pool seemed very different. How they generate these images, the systematically, is also a little bit different. And Midjourney has very good documentation and how you can systematically craft your prompt. It also has very good, not just a text to image approach, it also has very good, better than DALL-E, about from the image to image, uploading your image, and then you can make further development based on the image you upload. And there's also as you can see from the prompt, how to create prompt window here, there's also parameters to give further making precise adjustment to refine your image. It's very well documented and it works very well. So the result, the output was, I would say, impressive. And each time you would generate these images, it'll give 4 images at a time, and then you will have the choice to select either if you want to upscale it, or if you want to make further variation studies to create more iterations if you want to see variations from that particular image. So that basically this U1 means that if you want to upscaling the first image, or the U2 will be second, or so and same thing goes to the variation. So if you want to make variation from the first image, that will be the button you will select from Discord. And Midjourney works on a Discord platform, so you would have to create a Discord account, and the Discord can work on the browser based, so you don't need to install Discord app, but there's also a desktop app, and then you will be able to create this prompt to get the images. This time we wanted to try the describe command in Midjourney to understand how Midjourney interpret the uploaded images. Based on the uploaded images, it will describe the Midjourney's take on that particular image, and we could try to use those description as a keyword to get the output, and then we wanted to see the differences, the outcome differences. So this one you see here is the glass bridge connection between the buildings, and these are some of the results we received from Midjourney. And you can see here is that the descriptions is a little bit different that from the what we understand versus what Midjourney understands. So that even though it does most of the time it does understand it's a glass bridge, but in terms of style, there's definitely the style is involved, and it's interesting to see what styles Midjourney understands from this image. So there's a different descriptions towards the style, and the image aspect ratio is calculated here and is consistent. However, the style is very different for each take. And you can see here there's also the Tom Main as the architect. The style is also has been interpreted by Midjourney, meaning that Midjourney has some understanding of Midjourney's interpretation of what particular Tom Main architecture styles. And what we did is using this keyword to create the output back to Midjourney. And here are the result with using this same keyword. And what this suggests is that it is not consistent, unfortunately. So it'll be hard to control the consistent result with the same keyword, but we can definitely see the different interpretation based on the same keyword descriptions. And we further, from those descriptive keyword, we could play with different styles. That would include different particular camera lens or the coloring method. The illustrative sketch style versus the physical modeling style. And you can see we can witness interesting different styles. And this one is more photorealistic style, and also that there's definitely a lot of cue references from some of the previous buildings, so that there's distinctive architect style has been applied, having this generate images. So I think that based on this testing and research, the one thing to note is that this can be especially in the conceptual phase, this can be maybe over in terms of level of detail. It can be too detailed, so that I think that we have to be careful when we using these different AI-based engines in concept phase, so that we can stay in the control of level of detail and then keep doors open for different ideas and having different directions on. Now that the comparison testing with DALL-E versus Midjourney with the same prompt from these outputs, I can see that DALL-E's variations are more subtle than the Midjourney's variations. It is evident here that Midjourney has more artistic values when it comes down to creative studies, while DALL-E tries to stay with the prompt more with the consistency. And in this another prompt example, I try to be more try with more detailed contextual setting, add more different space programs, features, and change the type of project to bigger scale public building concept. And these examples, while Midjourney failed to provide aerial bird eye views, DALL-E was able to provide a view with higher eye level perspective. However, the building design wise, it does need some further development. But Midjourney was able to produce more, in contrast, more warm, believable the approaches. And with more variation studies with Midjourney and testing, Midjourney was able to generate other explorations like these ones that are shown in this slide. And this time I wanted to try the meshing study image example to render different options. As you can see upper right corner that I used the SketchUp to create this meshing study. And based on this image, I basically uploaded these images to DALL-E and Midjourney to see how they can provide some of the concept images. And the DALL-E almost stay the same even with the uploaded this meshing study image. However, Midjourney was able to generate some variety of meshing studies in geometry as shown in this slide. And it clearly shows the Midjourney, it performs better in design exploration, and it can also read the image better, the compositions, geometry better, and to apply and integrate in these studies. This time I was able to test SketchUp Diffusion. Diffusion came out pretty recently, and this is SketchUp's AI-powered renderer, and this is free because this is a beta version. And so anyone can download this plugin and test it out in your SketchUp scene. The advantage of this is that because it's a SketchUp plugin, it does work inside of SketchUp based on the geometry, based on the model you have in SketchUp. It can render different options quickly based on the prompt you provide. So this is the prompt window. So you can type in your prompt keywords, and then you can pick the style of the renderings. It does have some choices: exterior photorealistic, interior photorealistic, and the aerial master plan, and pencil sketch, and watercolor, illustrations, clay model, and the physical model. And then once you pick the style, you can also set the maintaining geometry strength with this slider. And the other slider is for the prompt influence. And this is for the how much impact you like to have this prompt make on your rendering. Once all these controls are set, you can generate to some variations, generate images. And you can do 3 images at a time. And these are some of the studies SketchUp Diffusion could provide based on the prompt. And you can also provide some pencil sketch, and this is the illustration type, and this is the physical model type. I was able to test on the different model setting. The next engine I was able to test is the Evolve Labs Veris. The Veris, it does work with the Revit and Rhino and SketchUp. So it can work on all those different environment as a plugin. So you can use the geometries you have in the model to render options accordingly based on the prompt. In similar fashion, it does have some slider controllers for geometry override, how much geometry impact you want to make from the prompt, or how much you want to maintain. And you can also do the material override. Your base model may have materials already applied, so that based on the prompt, you can also change how much impact, the impact level. And then this one was trial, so that I was able to control the image size, the pixel resolution. However, they are the control for the width of the image or height of the image. And the that Explorer tab, that's the one that when you can pick the different style. It can be interior, exterior, how you can pick the different types of rendering style. And then based on the prompt, these are some of the images you can generate. Now, Varus can generate the 4 images at a time. As you can see in the prompt window, there are 4 slots. So with the paid version, it will be able to batch 4 images. And this is some of the model, the scene that I was able to test. With the Varus is, because it's all architectural plugin, so that it seems to have a very good architectural train model compared to the SketchUp Diffusion. But there's still some limitations on the variations you can get based on the type of project and the type of materials, the rendering settings. But the Varus can also produce high quality exploration images. This one is the LookX AI. The LookX AI is another powerful AI tool that can convert sketches or the crumpled paper into 3D model renderings, as you can see from this slide. And this is provided by Timfo Architects, pioneering AI-based, AI-powered architectural workflow. And LookX AI Cloud can be a one-stop, easy-to-use image generation tool for urban, interior, and landscape architects. This platform is divided into Creators Plaza. This is for the exploring other users' images. And the nice thing about this is that you can select images you like, and then as you can see from here, it'll tell you that what prompt the user used. And you can see the seed number as well. And you can take a look at what image the user used to create this image, so that you can generate the same, test it out in your environment, your train models, so that you can reference, integrate into the design process. Now and then there's also the start creation. That's where you can create your own image, generate images based on the prompt, based on the keywords, based on the uploaded images. And there's also another section for Models Agora. Now that this is where the image creation, and then this is Model Agora that you can explore other people's train models, other people LoRa train models that you can download, and then you can use it in your testing. So if you have a particular if you have a need for the particular train model for the other aspect of design, then you can definitely explore this page to see what other available models out there. And the train models, underneath is for the training your own model, so that if you like to create your own style train model, then you can upload set of images so that this LookX can train for the architectural designs, set of designs, and go through them, get trained, and the next time you generate images based on the prompt, it'll predict accordingly based on your architectural style that you trained for. So it does have a very powerful option to give better enhancing the image generations. So these are some of the testing I was able to do with some the prompt, with the massing studies I had, and was able to pull a lot of different options. And another thing about in image creation it offers is that when you're creating your prompt, because it's based on those keywords that if you don't have an idea where to start, or if you need a reference, it does able to list all the available typical the keywords. They call it labels that you could use, so that you can fine tune your types of images accordingly, so that effectively you can choose type of project, the type of view, type of functions, or type of geometry, the form, UX style making. You can apply any of these to explore some of the other variation variety options in addition to your prompt. So in this slide, I wanted to see that based on the same prompt, that what type of, and based on the same massing study image, I wanted to see the comparison, like in the types of the different style of the images, the designs, ideas was able to receive from these different engines. So you can see that their trained models really express differently per different engines. This time I want to introduce Stable Diffusion Local. Stable Diffusion Local, as in name suggests, this is localized AI powered renderer, unlike the others. You can work offline with using your own hardware, takes GPU to process image generation. Installation can be tricky, but there are some good tutorials that you can easily follow to set up your machine. As I have included the link for the installation. This platform offers a variety of toolset as standard, like text to image, image to image, and region painting. As it only provides the UI framework to operate, you need to download trained models before you can generate images. Just to go over the interface, as you can see, there's a lot of controls. Even though it could be very flexible and configurable to have your own trained model or downloading trained model to generate images, the learning curve can be steep depending on the needs. As you can see, this is where you will be selecting the training model you have downloaded. And then this is a tab for text to image, or this one is for image to image. And this will be some extra tool that you could use. And then the PNG info, this is where when you shut down your server and then your local server, and then when you try to launch this Stable Diffusion, and then if you want to revisit your previous study, and you can actually grab one of your image you want to test out, you can just drag and drop it at the PNG info to get back to where you were, and it'll pull all the prompt information and then the setting you were running it with. So that in the checkpoint merger, this is where when you have different training models downloaded, you can actually merge them together with the ratio control, how much the strength, the impact you'd like to have from the different train models, so that you can control that, and then you can merge those different engines, and then you can load it in here as a checkpoint engine. And the train, this is where you can also have your own training model set up. And this is the very basis of it. And the top window is where you type in keywords for your prompt. And down below, this is where you want to do the negative prompt, so that it's something that you do not want from your images. And this Stable Diffusion also has the stylizer. What this one do is that when you have a typical prompt keyword set up, and if you're constantly using them on your image generation, and that is a style that you can apply for your every images, so that without copying pasting them over and over every time, you can actually create a style preset in here, and then you can type in the standard, your prompt keywords, labels in there, also the negative, and then you can actually save, and then you can use it, select that particular preset to apply for your next image generation. So this is where you generate images. This right now this is image to image tab, so that's why you could. This is where you could upload your image as a base, and this is where the images get generated. Right now, I have 6 images batch process here. That's why you see the list of 6 images tied together here, and this is the where you configure your image generation. That when you have a control net activated, then you can also use precisely control the geometry of your image using depth map. So this is where you utilize your control map and control net engine, and then this is where you define your image, how you want image to be for the resolutions, and this is where you batch process count. So the 6 is basically present the 6 images per process, and this is the sampling steps. You can specify depending on your sampling method. You can explore the steps level and the CSG scale. This is a default. I think that you can leave it as a default, and the noising strengths you can leave it at that for this conceptual studies. And there's also seed control here that when you have a -1, that means that you are just disregarding the seed numbers. However, if you want to lock your seed number, then you can generate the seed so that you can revisit precise that the image generated. You can revisit that iteration, that particular iteration. This is where you can, just like LookX AI, there are tons of train models you can download and test them per your liking. So this is a site you can explore the different models. You can the different train models you can download, and basically you can because there are tons of models out there. You should be using the filtering, narrow down to building types, and you will be able to explore some of the models that you can use it in your image generations. And with the image generation tools, these are some of the variation that generate images I could get through the stable diffusion using text to image. So this was based on the office project. Now depending on the prompt, it could output a lot of different types of images. You can have a lot of artifacts based on the train models, but it does give enough variations. And with the control net, you can precisely use the geometry in the image. So this is the same SketchUp massing model I had, and I was trying to generate variations on the different types of the materials, playing with the different materials. And this was based on the channel glass. And if you don't have a reference like a person as a scale, then you can this is taking the same massing but applied to much different scale type project. This was a different take from Stable Diffusion. And Stable Diffusion also has this painting method to making some refinement, how you do in Photoshop for generative fill. You can paint the area, you like to make modification, you like to make variations, and you can apply different prompt to generate different images per region. This is where I applied overgrown green walls. And this is the prompt crafting cheat sheet that I was able to attend the MDR, the CAS Spark, the presentation, the workshop presentation on the workflow using AI powered workflow using Midjourney and Stable Diffusion. And this is one of the cheat sheet he was able to share, that anyone can take this cheat sheet, and then based on the type of project, based on the need, we can grow this list of keywords and then compose them based on the project needs. So this is what I meant by that the style preset, that you could name your style and then you can make it standard by saving these keywords that you like to maintain. And these are some of the negative prompts that was saved to minimize the artifacts that you do not want to see in your image. So the Stable Diffusion is a free tool. The flexibility is the key on this platform. As a free tool, anyone should check it and test it, and check out the MDRDV's great the workshop presentation on YouTube using Midjourney and Stable Diffusion in their AI-powered standard workflow. This time, I'd like to look at the Runway ML. So the Runway is not designed specifically for architecture practice. So my limited experience is just creating animated images through this generating image tool from the image, so that using this camera motion tool particularly, and make the still image rendering generated as a motion picture. So as you can see in this control, I was applying the horizontal movement, panning movement, and then applying the zooming in movement. And depending on how much movement you make in this control, the result can have a big impact. So since there's too much of movement, as you can witness that the output result is not reasonable. There's just too much of movement that makes it unrealistic. If you go to the next slide, this one is a little bit more successful. However, that you can still see that these animated people are not perfect, but you can at least create a sense of movement. And also, so this one I didn't apply any motion towards the camera. This one I was just applying prompted generation. So I prompted animated people, prompted the snowing. This is one example. And then this one was using the camera motion control, so that I adjusted the level of movement, minimizing the movement, so that it can give a little bit better reasonable output towards the animation. Now the next one is I would like to briefly show Adobe Firefly and then the Photoshop generative fill. I'm sure everyone is aware with the Photoshop generative fill that has been there for some time for the content aware tool. However, with the Firefly, now you can using prompt, just how we would do with any other large language model based AI power tool, that you can use the prompt to select the area and then fill that area based on the prompt keywords. And because Adobe has much bigger accurate database, so that depending on the prompt, you can get a better result, better accurate result of filling the blanks with the desired object, desired element placed it in. You can see here there's the vehicle, the car has been added in to this image, and also there's animal, cheetah was placed in, and based on the context. And this one, you have the sky has been replaced. However, it can completely blends in based on the context of the rendering. And this is the Firefly interface. So I was using the previous masking model from SketchUp. I was using that image to generate using same prompt to see Firefly's take on the image generations studies. In terms of the output, it is not the creative journey. However, the Firefly can be a good candidate if you have the Adobe package. Next engine is Crea AI, And this one is also the another sample that I was able to test it with the same prompt for that riverfront community center prompt I used. And these were some of the images I was able to get Crea. However, I think that the Crea has also very good upscale engine. Because Crea has a good architectural understanding based on this testing, I was able to make this mid-journey concept image to make it more refined, architecturally refined rendering of scale image through Crea engine. So as you can see, the crowd, the people looks more realistic compared to the shadowy ghosty people, and that even the curtain wall, the glass walls, uh, we have a gigantic pane of glass walls here in this concept image, but this one image was able to panelize it a little bit more reasonably, realistically panelize the curtain wall in this image. So that the pavement, the ground looks a little bit more defined towards the finish. In terms of the upscaling, Crea has a very reasonable, the applicable engine utilize it towards upscaling. So I think that'll be all I have for today to briefly explore various engines that could be used in brainstorming ideas in concept phase, as these engines tend to create more finished look output depending on the prompt setting. However, it is better to keep them less detailed in concept phase per your needs, and it is important to keep exploring and document the set of keywords so that the best fit your project types, programs, styles. So it's like creating a catalog. And so I think that as AI technology advances, the next big thing would be the transition from these images to 3D models that can be transitioned to BIM. I hope this was helpful. Please feel free to email me with any questions. And thank you so much.